we're back in SAS Enterprise Minor project, and this time I want to apply the chosen model to our test data. So I'll drag the test data to the model, and all we have to do here, I can't remember the utility, the scoring, what's this? Score node is what you need. So we'll connect it to the model comparison, and then we will use the test data as input to the score. Okay, so okay, perhaps this allows us to choose which variables to hide. Hide variables. Oh, I'll probably have to select yes here, and then this becomes available. Oh, that doesn't give me a really flexible choices. It's not very helpful. So we want to score the test data. Yes, I think. Okay, so imported data. Let's just double check to make sure. Okay, so let's try to update the path up to here. I think that should allow us to see imported data. Perhaps I have to run this whole thing and deal with any complaints after that. Okay, let's have a look at the so we'll create some extra variables. See if now additional settings are available. Okay, so exported data is probably what we're after. This test data. Let's explore it. Oh. Well, I think I know what happened here. So okay, let me test if that's the case. So we set the rel of the test data to be test, but we already have restitution data here into training, validation, and test. So probably mix up these 15% with the data here, and then score all of them together. So I guess I could avoid this by saying that the role of this data source is actually score, and then if I update the path up to here, should have, yeah, I think that should be much better now. Yeah, so we now have this separate exported dataset score. So if we explore this, there should be just data from the test set. So just this data. So we'll be able to tell this by looking at the passenger IDs. So the first passenger, yeah, so that looks a little bit more closer to what we wanted. Absolutely. To add the final export step, I will add save data node. I'll connect it. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to set here. First thing, variables. There's only two variables that I need in my submission file. The first one is passenger ID, so I will set this one to yes, and the other one is EM classification. So this is our prediction for survived. So I need this variable in the exported submission file. For all of the other variables, I will set the use property to no. Okay, let's have a look and see if there's anything else that I need to set. So file name prefix, so probably a good idea if I call it submission, so it's easy for me to identify the file that I will use for submission. Absolutely, I want to export all observations, and I want to set the file format to comma separated values. I also need to choose the directory to which to export my data. Use my data, and I've created an additional folder here. Select this one. Okay. Alright, I think that's it. Let's run it. Okay, this is now completed. So if everything went okay, I should have exported files in my submission folder. So the one that I'm interested in is the score. And there you go. I have my test passengers here classified. So remember the input file that we use for test. Let's make it easier for me to switch. So input data that we used was test. So we had all these variables in there. For submission we only need passenger ID. We compare the two. My view and maybe horizontal. We're at the beginning, so start with passenger 892, and this is our prediction for that passenger. So let me just see, so we should rename this to survived. So I will save this. That's alright, and I can try doing my first submission for this project now.